And now it's time for the ridiculous.
What kinds of things make people piss?
And how many suitors exactly has she dismissed?
Siri, what are some locations for a lover's tryst?
Oh, darling, surely there must be a list.
A list?
A list?
A list?
A list?
You're telling me it's all here on this bleeding list? That's preposterous and ludicrous.
Well, actually, it's all quite
Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.
Welcome to The Ridiculous. I'm Sally Brooks.
And I'm Jen O'Neill, and we are back after a 2-week holiday break. We didn't mean for it to be 2 weeks, but
No,
I
didn't.
a whole
It
week
just
just got
happened?
lost in time.
Yeah, I mean that it's just such an abyss of time that I don't, maybe because the holidays were both on Mondays this year. I don't know what happened, but anywho, we're back. How was your holiday? I did just see you last night, so this is I do know how your holiday.
You know how my holiday was. All right. It was great. It was great. It was super easy, chill. I will say, upside of divorce, less holiday madness. It's not, I don't have like two families I have to run to, like two Christmases, two whatever. It's like I had the kids for Christmas Eve. Our family does the big Christmas Eve night on my side. And then I had them for the morning, and then their dad took them for the Christmas Day. And I just went right in my bed, got under covers, and watched 5 hours of the Natalia Grace documentary.
Wait, is that the one about
Merry Christmas?
Is that the one about the girl who was adopted and they didn't know how old she was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's wild.
So will you
Do you
spoiler
want spoiler?
alert? Yeah,
Okay,
I want to know.
Spoiler alert. She they did a DNA test, and she was a child. She was a child the whole time. These people were disgusting. They just they used her and they abused her, and then they left her and they re-aged her, so that even though many doctors told them that she was a child, they got like a family doctor to say that he thought, or they thought that that she was an adult.
Yeah.
And somehow they were able to re-age her, and then they moved her out of the house when she was actually 8 years old. An 8-year-old little girl was living in an apartment by herself. She's disabled. She could barely walk, barely take care of herself, and they left her in an apartment to take care of herself. And it was
Hold on just a second.
okay.
Apologies, my coffee has been delivered.
Oh, you lucky bitch.
Sorry.
Oh man, I've never been more jealous of you in our entire friendship. You just got handed not a coffee, an at-home coffee. That is
No.
That's where's that from?
This is from Waller's Coffee Shop. It's an
Ooh.
oat milk latte with honey, and it is delicious.
It looks every bit of delicious. That doesn't make sense. But it looks very delicious. But anyway, yeah, the whole thing is fucking nuts. And it ended and then season 2 came out immediately after. So I finished that over the course of the last few days. And it was
season 2 of the same thing?
Yeah, there's season 1 that kind of first starts they let the parents tell their side, the Barnetts tell their side, and then
so they participated?
Well, the mother didn't, but the father did, and he's crazy. I've never just seen a human being even act the way that he does. It's so strange. He's so strange. It's it'll make your skin crawl, truly.
Yeah.
So highly recommend. but I'm still just in shock because it just ended with this crazy twist, and now there will be more to the story. It's still going, but it has been proven that she was a child when they said she was an adult, for sure.
It just makes that. Oh, I just think about my son who is about to turn 8, and he's a baby.
Not
he
to
is
men-
he is a baby. He cannot like even feed himself. Like what the hell?
Yes.
I would never leave him alone in the house.
And then compound that with the fact that she was a disabled person, and
Yeah.
like it was like, and then they put her in another apartment where that was in a horrible neighborhood and very dangerous, and then they put her on the second floor, so she had to walk up all these stairs without like any help. It's just disgusting, really. Like they need to be in jail, the both of them.
Wow.
But
That's so much worse than I even thought.
I thought I knew what the story was, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just watch this thing because I didn't have anything else to watch. And
Mhm.
and then I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa! Like there's so much more to the story. So, look, we are a true crime podcast again.
Look at us. Well, actually, I mean, speaking of our true crime past, it's coming back around because when you guys hear this, Jen will now be a true crime TV star.
A star, celebrity. They've already prepared me. They've been like, your life is about to change.
I'm just excited to be along for the
You're
ride.
gonna have to get security and
Tell everybody what we're talking
You
about.
won't be able to just go out to dinner with your friends like you thought you could.
Invest in big old sunglasses and very plain baseball hats that make you very much look like you're a celebrity
You
trying
should
to hide
move
yourself.
up on a higher hill to where people can't see into your windows. So I was asked to a story that we did on Dumb Love a long time ago. Years ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It was like one of the first shows we did, one of the first stories we did.
Yeah. They are doing this show on Investigation Discovery called, the show is called Seduced to Slay. And they're covering the story that I covered. So they asked me to be a guest on the show, and I'll be like, I guess, narrating it, I guess.
Jen's
so
like
I
the
did
talking head.
It's crazy. I was like, is it a comedy? And they were like, no, not at all. Very serious.
I mean,
And
maybe,
was like,
do you think it's because all of the times that we joked that you're a journalist?
I know. I was like, you know that I did sign an NDA, and I don't know what that means exactly. I'm not sure. But I think I could talk about the initial conversation. I was like, well, like all my information that I have on this case is just shit I got from your information by watching like Investigation Discovery and maybe some Googling. I don't know. I'm an idiot. And so they're like, that's fine. We love it. Come on. We're great with that. So yeah, it should come out. It's going to come out on Monday. So by the time this airs, it'll have already come out. So you can watch it on Investigation Discovery, or you could watch it on Amazon, I believe. Like,
yes.
And I think you might have to purchase the episode on Amazon. But am I worth $2.99?
Yes.
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think.
Yes. And we will, of course, have the links up in all of our social media. So,
for all of our Dumb Love listeners, carryover listeners, this one's for you.
This one's for you.
I did
Jen.
it.
She reached
for
back.
you guys.
And can you tell everybody what the name of the episode is? Because it's amazing.
Yeah. The name of the episode is called Murder on My Bingo Card.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, is it a comedy? Maybe. No, it's not. It's not. It's a very serious show. But
I mean,
but
the way Jen tells it,
the whole idea of it all is hilarious to me. And I will say that this particular murder, whereas normally I wouldn't want to like capitalize off or benefit off a death or a murder or whatever that happened, I will say this person that was murdered was a very terrible person that deserved it.
Yeah.
So I don't feel so bad. I really don't.
That's why we never made money off of Dumb Love, is because we didn't want to profit off of people's murder
exactly.
stories.
They tried to pay us.
They tried to. We tried to make us millionaires, and we were like, no, we have morals.
No, thank you, sir.
We do this as a community service.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into our list.
All right,
Jen.
let's do it.
So my list this week, coming back, brand new year. Last night, you and I and a couple of our girlfriends got together and did vision boards.
Yes.
Because we are going to manifest the shit out of this year and beyond. And you guys, you're not even going to believe the kind of stuff that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
We said we're going to meet back in 1 year and, to redo it. And then also everybody's got to bring their vision boards and we have to see like what came to fruition. So
and
very excited.
I'm a person, I know that some people don't like New Year's resolutions or that whole like beginning of the year kind of setting new goals, but I love this time of year. I really feel like, especially like this time when it's kind of like, January, it's like nobody's doing much these weeks. It feels very like borrowed time to me. It's like a time to like really reflect and, set goals and decide what I want to be in the next year. So I found this list, and this is 19 best pieces of advice that people say they ever got. And honestly, these are all really solid. That's the whole article.
I love
and it's
this.
by Brian Galindo. And I thought, hey, look, we're all looking to like make some changes. We're all like trying to decide what we want to do this year. And so maybe having some good, solid advice as a foundation. And also I want to know if you think these are good pieces of advice. They're things you have followed. And also I'm wondering what's the best piece of advice you ever got?
One of my favorite quotes, I guess, which I live by. Is from, but it's not like I'm friends with her and she said it to me directly. I fucking wish. Is Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill said, you're going to get judged no matter what you do. So you might as well do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And I just find that to be so true. It's like, yes, as a woman, as a mother, as a person, in general, like, people are going to make assumptions. They're going to judge you. They either like you or you don't. So it's like, why not live your life exactly the way that you want to live it? Yeah. You have one life to live on ABC. But the other thing that I've been totally following, and I just saw this thing recently that it's the new, like everyone's getting this tattooed. It's the new, like, breathe on your wrist, is a Mel Robbins quote. That's the idea is let them. Have you heard of this?
I think you told me about
Did
this.
I talk about it on the podcast? I can't remember. But the whole idea is like, if someone, if you're stressed out because you think your boyfriend's, about to break up with you, it's like, let them. Or if you're stressed out because like, you don't think you're going to get invited to a certain party, it's like, well, let them. Or if you're upset because all your friends got together and had brunch and didn't invite you, and it's like, let them. Like, let people do exactly what they're going to do and relinquish all control, and then you know what moves to make and who your real friends are and who whatever, and you'll be okay. It's just like, you can't have anxiety or worries about what other people are going to do. Let them.
Yeah, and you can't control them. You can't control how other people are going to feel about you, what they're going to do about how they're going to do, and like, let them show you who they are, and then you get to make a decision about how you react to that and how you then go forward, right? Like, if somebody's going to show you that they're not a reliable person, well, then you have a choice, right? You can either like keep being friends with them and accept them as they are, or you can like move on.
Yeah, and I don't know if she meant it in this way or not, but I feel like it applies. But even like stressing about my little brother or and decisions he's making, or my older sister, and like things, I'm like, I used to be very protective and had anxiety about and would stay up all night long thinking about things they were doing and decisions they were making, what I thought was best for them. And and it's like, well, no, they just have to live their lives, and it's like, let them make all the decisions they're going to make. And there are so many times that I was wrong about things and they were right. So it's like, I know I'm going to get a phone call from Bobby like, what'd you just say? You were about? Sometimes I am. And so it's like, I would have saved myself so many sleepless nights over the years had I just like, had already had this mindset of let them. And
Yeah.
so, and I don't know
Well,
if that's what
that's-
she means by it or not, but that's just the way that I take it.
That's something my friend Grace, who I've talked about a lot of times. Hi, Grace. She always says, like, don't borrow stress from the future. Like, don't.
That's
So,
a
like,
great
you know, when you're
saying.
like worried
Yeah.
about like things that haven't happened, it's like, why are you stressing about something that hasn't happened yet? Like, if you you can be stressed when it happens, but like, don't be anxious and don't be stressed about things that like may not ever come around. Like, you're just, that's I try to remember that.
I like that a lot. I like that,
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah, good job, Grace. Okay, so here's the first one from BuzzFeed, and I actually think this is something that I have really embraced in the last several years, is you don't have to be good at something to enjoy it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think that is like such great advice, especially for creative people, because, or even if you're not creative, like, but I think that like, because part of our job is being creative, it's then you don't want to try other creative things because you're like, well, I mean, I'm probably not going to be good at drawing, but like, I've really embraced like dancing and, you know, doing pottery and drawing and painting and all of these things that just like bring me a little joy.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at them, but it's like, well, the only way to get good
I've
at something,
seen you on the dance floor and you're good at it.
That's what I'm trying to like fetch. I just wanted you to to compliment my dance moves.
I'm no good at dancing.
I'm such a bad dancer.
You're a great dancer.
Thank you.
I think I love that. I've been surfing like probably 10 times, but have I ever gotten up? Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
In the whole, like, in all the times. But I just really enjoyed trying. And I really just enjoyed like being out on the water and the whole like coming in and out. I enjoyed the experience, but am I good at it? Hell no.
Yes.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah, I very much love the like come as you are kind of mentality of, you know, like the dance class that we went to at Evolve, or like our friend Alice's dance classes.
Yeah.
It's very much like you are just here to move your body, and however you do that is like great. Like, you know, that is great. There's no expectations and no judgment, and that's just like such a beautiful space. I wish I had like embraced that more as a younger person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if it doesn't work, move on.
Okay.
Which I actually am so for that advice. I am like, not that I, you know, obviously I believe in like trying hard and sticking with something like that. You know, that is like the key to comedy. I think a comedy career is like, just keep doing it. But I also think this idea of you can't never quit. I just don't, I think that, sometimes you should quit. Sometimes you should. Sometimes like you're in a bad situation or sometimes you're just, you know, banging your head against the wall and it's not making you happy. And it's like, it's okay to admit that something isn't for you and that it is not serving you and that it's time to move on. Like, it's okay
I think as long
like,
as you give it a good try and you really put effort into it, if it's not working, then move on.
Yeah. We're not like, I don't know. I mean, I know this gets into like people's parenting philosophies, but like, you know, we're very much with Max, like, if you sign up for something, see it through, but if you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. You know what I mean? Like if he, like we had him do soccer and he hated it and we were like, we'll just finish the season. And then now he never has to do it again because he's tried it. So, you know, I
like that rule. We generally apply that to our children. I don't think there's ever a time where we pulled them out of something mid-season, but
I mean, if he had been like truly, I don't know. I mean, I do think that there is also something to say for that, of being like honoring your kids when they know what they want and know what they don't want, being like, okay, I believe you. I believe that this is not for you. So this actually, the context of somebody giving that advice was where they were like trying to make it in a town and they kept trying to find a job and they couldn't find anything. And finally they realized like, this is not working for me. They went somewhere else and like prospered, you know,
that's good.
Like, changing your, Okay, so this is another one is you have to learn other people's limits because they are different from your own.
Yes. That's good
Yeah,
advice. Yeah.
it's great
Mhm.
advice. Like, so this, she says, my mother told me this when I felt disappointed that a friend wasn't showing up for me in the way that I would have in high school, and had the situation been reversed. It illuminated that some people have different expectations in and for relationships, and the only way you can make sure you're on the same page was through open communication.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of
it's-
like a let them, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, let them show you how they are a friend, and
Mhm.
that's how they are. That's how they operate, not how you
Yeah.
operate. Yeah. Mhm.
And also just like not putting your feelings and intentions on, no, I mean that's the wrong, like not projecting your feelings onto someone else. Like, so another one of these that I saw was like always write a thank you card, and like I'm very much not a write a thank you card kind of person. Like I don't
Yeah.
want them. I mean, not that I'm mad when someone sends them. I just don't
Yeah.
expect it. I don't really value them. I think it's kind of a like if you gave me something and I said thank you for it, and then you got mad at me because I didn't send a thank you card. I think that's just so backwards. It's so weirdly Southern, and I don't
It's
like
so
it.
funny how some people pay attention to that and some people don't. Like recently, a wedding that we had all been to, and I don't want to give away what the wedding was, but one person said to me, "I'm still pissed. I still haven't got my thank you card." And he was like, "It's been over a year and I haven't gotten a thank you card." And I was like, "We didn't?" Like, he was like, "Did you?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, and I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, I don't, I'm not counting my thank you cards and I'm not like
Right.
waiting. But this person was like very aware of the fact that it had been over a year and had not yet received a thank you card.
It's so weird to me.
I
It's
know.
like, well, are you just giving a gift to get a thank you card? Like, why are you putting that on your friends and loved ones of like, hey, here's work for you to do? Like, it just is to me. But like, I also understand if it was really important to you, then maybe I would like, maybe I would make the effort, or
Right.
maybe because that I don't care about it, you would understand more, even if it was important to you. You would understand like, oh, well, Sally doesn't mean she doesn't appreciate my gift because she didn't send me a thank you card. That's just not who she is, right?
Right.
Like, I think there's different levels of that, right? Like you have to draw the line somewhere where you're like, well, just because, I have to decide for myself what I need from a friend. And if you're not giving it to me, even if that's just who you are, then like maybe we aren't great friends. But
Yeah.
like also I think understanding people and what their boundaries are is like, I don't know, just it makes it easier to not take things personally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is if you're not having fun, it's your own damn fault. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah.
I like that one too. It's like make your own fun. Don't wait around for somebody else to make it for you.
I also don't like when people rely on you to be their fun at at a party or on the weekend or whatever. Like when they're like blame you for the fact that they're bored. It's like you can create fun too. You can do anything you want. Or like, if you're bored, there's a million things you could do to cure boredom, but I'm not like, it's not anybody's responsibility to cure anybody else's boredom is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. I'm very much of the make your own fun. If it's not, if a situation is not like, if you're not enjoying it, like, then you have the power to do something to change it, not just like, I don't know. There's no reason to sit around being bored. Okay. How about this one? Don't let anyone else drive your car.
I need people to drive my car. I'm a terrible driver. I don't believe that.
I'm not precious with my car.
The worst, and I'll give my car to anyone if they'll drive me.
I think I loaned my car to you one time.
You did. Thank you.
I was like, here, have my piece of shit.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that at all.
No, I don't either. So I think this is actually a really good one for young women. If you want to have sex, have sex. So basically it's saying like, have sex if you want to. Don't have sex just because your partner wants to. Like, don't feel pressured ever. But like, if you want
and also
to do it and be safe.
if you want to. It's
Yes,
like,
don't
I
feel-
heard, that's
yeah.
how I heard it, is like, don't feel like you have to be prude or you have to like be whatever because it's lady. If you feel like it, you do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But as long as it's what you want to do.
As long as it's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And as long as like, yeah, you're, be safe, be honest with people. That's,
Yes.
do your thing.
General
Don't hurt anybody
rules
else.
of cool
rules.
sex. General cool sex rules. Be cool.
Be cool. Don't be not cool.
Don't be all uncool. That's a Housewives quote. Luann said it. Okay.
Is it be cool, don't be uncool?
Yeah, and it was funny. Actually, what's funny in that context is she had brought some men home, and they were all staying in a vacation house, and some of the other housewives were like, "You brought men into our house, and how dare you?" Without telling, she was like, "Come on, man, be cool. Don't be all uncool." And it was just like, it was awesome the way she said it.
I mean, if there are not shirts with that on it,
Get some, Luann. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
sure there
Don't be
are
uncool.
shirts. Yeah.
Okay. Always stand up, advocate for yourself and what you know is right and best for you, which I think that is like one of the hardest rules that I learned. And especially this was like, I learned it a lot as a comedian, is like, you are the only person who's going to advocate for yourself. Like,
yes.
You're the person who's looking out for you. Don't rely on other people to advocate for you, because everybody is like the center of their own little universe. As much as like, of course, like, friends want to help friends and, whatever, like people will help you along the way, but you just can't rely on that. And you always have to be your own best advocate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that applies everywhere, right? Like medical stuff, like anything.
Yeah. Yeah. People are concerned, like people are worried about their own things and what's going on in their lives. And unless you speak up, nobody's just going to give you a raise. Nobody's just going to give you a gig. Nobody's just going to like hand things to you. You have to like speak up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I've spent a lot of time just waiting around for someone to notice how talented I am, or like whatever, just to notice like,
I noticed.
Oh my gosh, that's Sally. She's funny. We should give her X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, nobody's going to do that until like you make it known that A, you want that, and B, like, put yourself in the situation to get it. Like nobody's going to come to my house and tell me that I'm ready for X. Nobody told me, oh, you can write a book. Like, it's just like, yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And there's a lot of, it's a new comic thing, but I was certainly guilty of it when I was a newer comic, is you get excited about the people that you're performing in front of when a celebrity drops in, or if like a comic you really love and respect is there, you get excited for them to watch you because you think that like they're going to be like, yeah, you're coming with me. And while that does happen, sometimes like people will ask you to be their opener. It does happen. 90% of the time that person is like running their own set in their head, or they're thinking about what they want to order for dinner, or they're walking through and like not paying attention, and like it's not you if you want to get booked somewhere, you have to like talk to the booker and you have to ask for things. You can't just sit back and wait for people to like think you're so amazing.
Right. I'm like, I've worked with a lot of amazing people who are like kind and have become friends. And occasionally, sometimes those friends will ask me to do shows with them. But like, mostly that's not how it happens. Mostly it's not how it happens. It's like for a variety of reasons. But yeah. Okay. So I think this is a great one, is you don't have to show up to every argument you're invited to.
I love that.
I love that too. I'm like, I find that is like such a good, like when I'm pissed off at work or, it's like, and I'm like, I have the higher moral ground here. I could like snap back at this. I could whatever, where somebody's like, kind of says something to me in a way that I'm like, oh no, you don't fucking get to say that. I just kind of am like, why is it going to serve me? What is going to serve me if I do come back at this? Like, is that going to make things better? Am I going to get what I want? Are they going to see things the way that I see them? If all of those are no, then like, I just forget it.
One of my biggest life-changing aha moments was when I realized that, like, oh, I'll never, like, with certain people that I would
Mhm.
argue with, it was like, oh, I will never convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I can ever say that will make you see things differently because you are set in your ways. And a lot of people come to arguments to win, not to understand.
Yes.
And so it's if someone's coming at me to win, then I don't fight. I remain silent and I retreat because I'm like, me telling you my side, it'll fall on deaf ears. It'll never change your mind. It's just going to get me upset. I'm just going to sit back until you're ready to understand versus fight. And
I think
if
you're
you're
really
never
good
going
at
to
that.
understand,
Yeah.
And if you're never going to understand, then I'm not going to have that battle with you.
Yeah. I think that is, you're really good at that. I've noticed you doing that lots of times where you're just like, I'm not going to say anything because why?
It'll never, that person will never
just gonna
change.
It's just going to be more, it's going to get me more riled up. And then what does that serve?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to do two more.
Okay.
And so this one is like, I think great for everybody who's getting back to work. It will still be here tomorrow. So that they say that's wisdom from my boss on having a huge to-do list at work and not stressing over it. Get done what you can today. What you don't finish will be there to work on tomorrow. And you don't need to take a mental baggage of having a big to-do list home with you, which
that's
is
a nice
like,
boss.
very hard to do, I think, but also like so important. I remember my one of my like dearest friends, Hadley. She is like she's a big boss lady. She's like really high up at a big company. Anyway, I remember her telling me she has 3 kids, and when her kids were little, I was like, how do you do it? You have this big corporate job, and she is like, I just tell them, like, I have set the expectation that between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. I deliver. Like I am, that is when I am there and I am working and I will get everything I have. And then on that is when I am with my family. And like, that's just my expectation. And that's what I set for my employees. And that's what and I'm like, that is amazing. Cause she really did. I mean, she really was so good at that. Like just turning it off. Yeah. Work-life balance. And like, and she works really hard and she, she also, I'm sure there are times when that's not possible, but like for the most part, she doesn't take it with her, which is so great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great advice.
So here is my last one. And I think this is my advice that I've said this a million times. And I think it is like, and I think it in the most positive way. It is completely freeing. And it is, you wouldn't care what people think of you if you knew how seldom they do, which is like, other people aren't really thinking of you. And that should be freeing.
It's true
to you, right? Like, most people are just thinking about themselves. And like, so why worry?
I know.
I think that's exactly what you said in the beginning. Like, I can't change what other people, I can't like what other people think of me. So why not just be yourself? Like it's the same idea.
Whenever I'm like, oh, I can't wear this outfit. I wore this the last time I hung out with. I always ask myself, I'm like, do you remember what that person was wearing ever?
Yeah.
No. Or when I'm like, oh, I'm not getting booked and, does everyone hate me? Did I do something and the whole comedy community doesn't like me anymore? And then I'll like come across a person that I really like on Facebook or Instagram that's a comedian that hasn't been performing a lot lately. And I'll just be like, oh yeah, what happened to that person? But it's not like anybody's sitting around like, oh, like, no, Steve is such a dick and we're not gonna, it's like, no, we're all doing our own thing. Nobody's paying attention to how many shows you're doing every week or whatever. It's like, so we all need to give
I like that
a break.
Like, right. And just like, it's a good, like, get yourself out of kind of yourself, like not you, all of us, our self-centered kind of like myopic. It's like nobody else is thinking about me, so don't worry about it.
Totally.
All right, that's all the advice I have. That's all the best piece of advice.
That's great advice.
You guys should all be set.
I love it.
Go live your lives.
Go take on 2024 with all your new words of wisdom. Okay, so
2024.
my listicle this week also comes from BuzzFeed.com, but this one's written by Stephen LeConte. And it is I'm going to just go ahead and tell you the way he wrote it. He put people are fessin'. So it's a apostrophe F-E-S. Fessin'. About the dumbest things they've spent money on, and it's painfully relatable. I just thought these were funny.
That one time when I was living in New York, I applied for a job at BuzzFeed, and this woman who had been like an executive there, like recommended me for the job, and I didn't get it. And sometimes when we read these lists, I'm like, the fuck, man.
Maybe you were just like writing your words out completely,
right? I think I was just
get it.
My mind wasn't blown about enough stuff.
Yeah. So they on a viral Reddit thread, they asked users, what are some dumb purchases you've made? This one right here said, I was high and ordered a 5-pound bag of peach rings. That is so funny. That's hilarious.
I used to, when I would be, when I was like nursing, and it was like, especially those first months when it's like middle of the night nursing, and Max was such a bad sleeper that I was just so sleep deprived. And like several times things would show up that like I didn't remember ordering. So it'd be like some like miracle sleep sack or like some weirdo like
the baby
triangle
sleep sack. That is
yes,
amazing, and I hope you used it.
I did.
Okay.
I did use the Baby Merlin. It took me a while to get to it, but I did try several before that I did not. I had no recollection of ordering them, but I just was like so desperate in the middle of the night. Like,
so
I would just.
I was going to say my dumbest purchase was in the middle of the night. I guess I don't even remember doing it, but I woke up I ordered the like year-long subscription to the Calm app. I guess like I just really needed like some like calming noise or something, and then I signed up for I spent like $90, I think it was. And the year
you were just like, I need it right now.
I was like, fuck, I guess it's just me and Matthew McConaughey reading stories to me.
And how much do you use it?
Oh, I like let it expire and I never use it. And then Jim had sent this to me. He's like, I really like this app. You should try it. I was like, no.
No. Been there. Been down that road, mister.
Nah. But
speaking of dumb purchases, do you want to see?
Of course.
Okay. Do you want to see what Santa brought Max? This is my 7-year-old. And he was like, hey, Mom, I saw this thing on a YouTube video and I really want it because you can like drink soda from it.
Is it Stanley? Oh, good. Okay. I approve. This
is what Santa brought Max.
I love it.
Soda hat. For everybody not listening, it's a beer hat. Santa bought our 7-year-old a beer helmet.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I thought you were going to say the Stanley mug that like every kid wants. It's like a $50 mug and it's just a water holder. I don't get it either. But my daughter is like all about like Stanley mugs. And I was going to buy it for her and then I was like, $50? This is crazy. Anyway, but the peach rings things reminds me of like when my friend John, who was like one of my best friends, he was actually the man of honor in my wedding. So he was on my side, but he when we were like 23 or something, he got this like crazy inheritance, like some great aunt that he didn't even know he had was the heir to the RC Cola fund. What? And he got this like crazy inheritance where he got like a ton of money up front and then he gets like a certain amount of money like every 3 months or something for the rest of his life. I can't remember.
Amazing.
But he just, before I knew about this inheritance, he just called me one night and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. I'm like getting ready for bed. He's like, come outside. And I like went outside and he had like a brand new like black SUV. I can't remember what kind. It was like so nice. And then I was like, whose is it? And then like I got in the car and he's like, look in the back seat. And he had bought a year's supply of astronaut ice cream.
It'll never melt. It'll never melt.
John purchase. I wonder if he still has it. I doubt it.
I want to know, where do you buy, like, where would you find astronaut ice cream? Did he order on the internet?
He
And how much
probably-
is a year's supply? Like
I don't know. It was like boxes and boxes of astronaut ice cream. But it was
God,
so
I want to
fun.
have astronaut ice
Yeah.
cream money. Like, fuck you, astronaut ice cream. Like,
Yeah.
just-
I remember he was like, okay, tonight, he goes, you get one night. Tonight I'm taking you out, whatever you want. Like, and like, balls to the wall. I'm buying your
Yeah.
drinks, I'm buying your gin, whatever. He's like, but this is the one time. And I thought that was like a really good idea for like, if you come into a lot of money and like, you know, your friends are going to like,
yeah.
not that I was that kind of friend. I certainly wasn't, but there are friends that like will expect you to like pay for things if you come in, you know, whatever. But
Right.
was
To be
just
like,
like,
oh, they're
no.
rich forever. Yeah.
you're my friend and I will like tonight I'm taking you out and we're going nuts, but that's that. So
Yeah.
I appreciated it. I appreciated the night out. We had fun. But it was
Where'd you go? Did you go somewhere fancy?
no, I think we just like went to the local or something. Like we didn't,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not one to take advantage of the, well, if you're paying for, but the
Right,
whole
right.
thing was just hilarious to me. Yeah. But, cause we were such like young, dumb idiots, you know, we were
Yeah.
all poor. And then like one day it's like, you just get this windfall and buy a bunch of astronaut ice cream. It's so funny.
Oh God, that's amazing.
I know. Okay, so I'll get into the list now.
Right,
So
uh-huh.
here are some. This one says, bought $50 worth of Beanie Babies because I thought they'd be worth something.
Oh God, I
Um,
remember when people were like going nuts over Beanie Babies. Like, these are
Yeah.
collectible. It's like,
I know. That's how people are right now with those stupid mugs. This one says, my partner went out to buy vegetables for dinner and came home with a kayak. He forgot the vegetables and the kayak has never been used. I love that.
Oh, that's great.
This one says, when I was 17, I had unknowingly, I don't know how unknowingly you save up, but it says I had unknowingly saved up $2,000 from work. I chose to spend this on a double neck guitar. That's so awesome. That's such a 17-year-old boy
Right?
thing to do, right? This one said, I traded a rather rare volume into a local used bookstore because I had 2 of them. Then went back to the bookstore a month later and excitedly bought my own book back because it was rare and I didn't think I owned it. I was wrong. So I guess like they forgot. So they
forgot they
sold one
sold it,
because,
and then they forgot that they had it.
so they sold it because they had 2 copies.
Yeah.
And then when they saw it in a bookstore, they're like, oh, this is rare, and bought it and then didn't realize they had a copy at home. This one says, I bought a onesie for my Great Dane. Don't know why I bought it, but I think he liked it. Oh my God.
Oh man, my mom used to. She was like she loved to shop. She loved to shop, and we would find like she would have like 30 pairs of scissors because she would just keep buying, like forget
More.
that she had buy more. Oh, I probably need scissors. Oh, I probably need whatever. It's just like you find like multiples like everywhere. I was like, why do you need 20 scissors? Why do you need 20 scissors? Like, what is that for?
Yeah. This one says, I spend over $100 or more buying clothes for my avatar on a virtual reality game when I could have spent it on, you know, actual clothes.
Oh my God.
This is a thing that I struggle with like my kids and my nieces and nephews and stuff because they all just want Robux and Fortnite money and all that stuff for Christmas. And it's like, it's all just going into this fucking game. But it's like,
right.
but I also, my house isn't full of crap
Yeah.
that they're just going to throw away. It's like, what's worse, the plastic toys that are just going to get thrown away or like money that's literally going into outer space?
I just the Robux and stuff. I'm like, you know, Max gets like I think we spend like $5 a month, you know, like he can have $5
Yeah.
a month, which is like, but it's like crazy. He doesn't even know he has it. He spends it so quickly when you see how much these things cost and how quickly it goes. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind
I'm
of,
torn. I really don't know how I feel about it.
I know what you mean.
This one says, I bought a lot of how-to kits and books, like how to knit, how to do calligraphy, how to paint, how to write poetry, etc. Have I learned to do a single one of these things? No, I have not.
Yeah, I'm notorious for that, of like getting into something one time. Like I went swimming the other day and was like, "Oh my god, I love swimming. I forget how much I love to swim." And you know what? This year I'm going to swim laps. And so before I have even, of course I already own a swimsuit, so it's not like I need that to start swimming, but I like ordered, like, I need a cap and I need headphones for swimming and I need a new bathing suit and I need all the things. And I'm like, am I going to really actually get into swimming? Probably not. Probably not. But I have like every art thing I have. I mean,
it's Murphy's Law that whenever you get super excited about like an activity or sport and buy all the stuff, that's when you lose interest.
Yeah.
I have some cycling shoes in the closet right now. Never wore them one time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know what this is. It says a shitty mall katana while I was on a date, no less. It was a first date. There was not a second. Is that a sword?
I think it's a sword. Yeah.
But like, what's the mall? Like you bought it at the mall?
Bought it at the mall, like at one of those like, weird gaming stores. Have you ever seen those at the mall?
I guess. Oh my God, that's hilarious. This one says, when I was high on pain meds after my ACL surgery, I was on Amazon and saw a typewriter that I really wanted, ordered it, and it was a picture of a typewriter on a notebook. I'm still mad about that. LOL.
I bought on like Nextdoor. I saw somebody was selling, we first moved here, somebody was selling 2 rocking chairs and they looked awesome. And I was like, I'm going to buy those rocking chairs. And they were really inexpensive. And so I was like, great, rocking chairs. We'll put them on our back porch. And then I gone back and forth with this woman a couple times about scheduling, and I missed something and then she couldn't be there. And then, so she was like, I'm just going to put them, I was like, let me pay for them now so that you don't have to worry about me coming, I'm going to come get them. Here's my money. And she was like, I'll just put them on the porch. Well, I went to go get them and they were tiny rocking chairs. Like rocking chairs, like your children. I looked at the picture and I'm like, there was like nowhere to see like reference of how big they are, but we still have them. Max loves them.
Tiny rocking chairs.
I was like, oh, that's why it was 2 for $35.
That is so funny. Always check your measurements on Amazon, because I bought my daughter for Christmas one year wanted a gumball machine, and I ordered her a gumball machine, and then it came in and it was this big. It was a mini gumball machine, and it came in like the day before Christmas when it was too late, and then it just looked like a fuck you present to my child. Oh my God.
Did it have like 2 pieces of gum in it?
I think there was like 4 or 5. Yeah, it was so small. This says, I bought a faceless doll to scare people. Turns out I was the one most scared. Because now you have to like house this faceless. Yeah. I bought a rare exotic cucumber from a guy who said it would give me luck. Oh my God. Okay, I'll read just a couple more. This kills me every time I remember it, and it's honestly made me into the extreme money saver I am today. When I was younger, my family visited Niagara Falls. I had $50, which is a lot for a kid with no job, and I was excited to buy some souvenirs. I spent it all on keychains. I only got like 6 of them, which made it to $50. They were all of the same place too. It's not like they were from different cities. I wasted all the money I owned on freaking keychains. Who even uses those? It haunts me to this day. Oh, that's the last one. That's really funny.
That's hilarious. I love just like all Niagara Falls.
So there's a lot of comments on this article, and some of these are pretty funny. This one says, I used to pay for my music. I probably have $1,000 worth of iTunes songs iTunes songs from the 2000s that I never listen to now because I use Spotify.
Yeah.
This one says, I spent $200 on cream that was supposed to increase my breast size when I was a dumbass teenager. Yep, you can guess how that turned out. Oh, my
Totally
God.
worked.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one I'll do. Drunk and went to Best Buy, bought every David Cassidy Partridge Family CD they had. New rule, I'm not allowed to go shopping if I've had more than 2 drinks or if it's dark outside, whichever comes first. Oh my God, that is so funny. Okay.
Like, how many could there
that's
be?
mine. I mean, he was around for a long time, right?
True, that's
didn't
true.
he make music for a while after the Partridge Family?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
I don't know.
Probably
Not
not. And that's my listicle.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get into our list. Let's
Let's
get to our top
do
5.
it. Yeah. Top 5. Okay, so this week we have decided to do the top 5, our top 5 TV shows of 2023.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was one I wanted to put on there, but it was technically 2022 and I took it off. Okay.
I did the same.
Okay, cool.
Because
All
I
right.
was like, oh, wait, that actually came out in 2019. I just didn't watch it
okay.
until 2023.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay,
right,
cool.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say they're both number 5. I'm gonna say that one is number 5 and one is an honorable mention.
Okay.
So number 5 for me is that show Last of Us, the zombie show, which I don't even like zombie shows, but it's a great fucking show. I
didn't watch
really
it.
like Last of Us. My honorable mention is Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a little cheesy, but I actually really liked it. I think it's loosely based on it's on Amazon and it's starring Riley Keough. who's-
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think it's loosely based on God, why am I drawing such a blank? Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Yeah. I read the
And
book.
what's her
I didn't
band?
love it, but
What's the band?
Fleetwood Mac?
Yes. Oh my God. That was my number. Fleetwood Mac was like my top 5 listened to on Spotify this year. And I'm like, fucking brain fart. I need that coffee that you have over there. Yeah. So,
This
but I
coffee?
liked it. I liked the show.
Mm.
Yeah. That coffee.
I will say, so I just want to say, like, I watch plenty of TV. I don't want to say I don't watch TV, but I also there's so much I haven't seen. I was looking at because I was trying to remember what came out this year, and I was looking at best of lists, and I'm like, I have not watched most. I didn't watch Last of Us. I haven't watched Daisy Jones and the Six. I read the book and I didn't like it. So, but everybody has said that the show is really enjoyable. And so I also want to say there are some shows that I've started and haven't finished that I like. So I didn't put them on the list. And those are Jury Duty, Reservation Dogs, The Bear, the other 2, and Barry. So all of those are in progress, but they will not appear on my list.
Okay.
There are some shows that I saw on lots of lists that I have also started and then stopped because I hated them. And those are Succession and Kunk on Earth. I hated both of those.
Oh God, I watched one episode of Kunk on Earth and died laughing. I was laughing
Really?
my fucking ass off. Yeah. Maybe I was just in the right mood. I was in kind of a weird late night silly mood and it just
I think that's
so
probably,
hard.
I was probably just in the wrong space for it because I was just I find this annoying.
I get that.
Okay, so my honorable mention is Survival of the Thickest. Have you watched that? It's Michelle Buteau's. It's so great.
Oh,
it's
no,
really,
I did watch that. I did. Yeah, that was good.
It's not a deep, I just was this is a great comedy and she's so delightful. And I think it's only, it was a fun show. And then my number 5 is Abbott Elementary.
Oh, that's a good one too. So I forgot about a lot of these. And shows like Survival of the Thickest, I ripped through it so fast. You know that it's I watched it in a day and then totally forgot about it.
Yeah, I think I just recently watched it, which is why it's top of mind. But I just was oh, that is both I think Abbott Elementary and Survival of the Thickest. They're both like sitcom-y. They're really light. I don't think they made any top lists, even though Abbott Elementary has got a lot of, awards.
Yeah.
But they're just, I love shows like that where it's like you just want a good comedy that has like great characters that you care about.
Oh,
And
my
they're
kids
both out,
loved Abbott Elementary. That was a fun one for us to watch together. We ripped through those too.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is it's on Apple TV. It's called Lessons in Chemistry, which I know is also a book. I didn't read the book.
Oh,
but the
I haven't
show is
watched it.
great. I loved it.
All right. My number 4 is on Peacock, and it is Mrs. Davis. Have you watched that?
No. Or maybe.
God. It's
Have
so
I?
you would remember
I
if
don't even know
you had
what my
so
life is
weird
anymore.
It's
Mrs.
weird
Davis.
and great.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh, I highly recommend it. It's very much not like you were saying, like Last of Us, you don't like zombies. Like this is something that like I normally wouldn't watch. And Ben was like, please just sit down and watch one episode with me.
Okay.
And then if you don't like it, keep going. And it's so weird, but there's something about it that just is so compelling and funny. And like, it's like unlike anything I've ever watched. I really loved it.
Awesome. I will try that. I need new shows.
Do it.
Because I'm now to the point where I'm rewatching old seasons of reality shows and I don't know what I'm doing.
What are you even doing?
I don't know. Number 3, it also an Apple TV show, Shrinking.
I love Shrinking.
With Harrison Ford and what's his face? God, I can't remember anybody's name right now. I love him though. I love him so much. That's why I love the show. What is his name? Jason Segel.
Jason Segel.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
so
good in it. He's so good. Yeah, I love the whole show, and Harrison Ford is amazing in it. Yeah,
I love that too. I kind of forgot that was this year. Okay, so my number 3 is Somebody Somewhere with Bridget Everett. Did you watch that?
Oh yeah, I love that show too. I totally forgot about that.
It's so good. It's
great.
That's like
I love
like so much heart, so funny. I love that show so much.
Yeah.
And the one that I was gonna kind of pair with it because I think they're kind of similar toned shows is This Way Up with Aisling B.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I realized like that was
2019.
Forever
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get with it.
I know.
As my number 2, this should not come as a surprise to any of my fellow Bravo fans. But this year's Vanderpump Rules was a season like no other.
They really topped
the
themselves.
real-time drama. It was riveting. We actually had an episode about it when we had Jolene on.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. If you
Love. Yeah.
I learned all about it. I was
Yeah.
invested. I mean, I didn't watch any of it, but I was invested
Oh, and the
intellectually.
the new season is about to come out. And I feel like this might be a good time to announce that me and my friend Brooke, who is amazing. Her name's, she goes by DJ Nina Linda. She's a DJ, but she's also my friend, Brooke Sprigman. We're going to host a Bravo trivia night. And you won't get this reference, but it's called Naimum. Naimum. That is a reference to Sutton on Beverly Hills, Sutton Strack, Naimum. And it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait. It's going to be in February.
That's awesome.
Join us if you live in Atlanta. It'll be a blast.
Yeah, come be on my team and see how great I am. I'll just be like, I don't know what we're talking about. Okay, so I have a tie for my number 2. But these are both amazing shows. I love them both. And it is Slow Horses on Apple TV and Poker Face, which I think is on Peacock.
I've seen Poker Face. I don't even know what Slow Horses is.
Okay, so Slow Horses, I love it. It's great. There's like 3 seasons of it. It is like it's about this MI5.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's in it. And it's this like group of MI5 agents who are basically like the rejects, and they're in this thing called Slough House, but everybody calls them the Slow Horses. And each season is kind of like something big is happening. Like it's action, it's comedy. It's great.
Cool. I can't believe I've never heard of this. I love Gary
It's awesome.
Oldman, so I'm on board.
Yeah, I think you'll really like.
My number one favorite show last year, which I don't think will be a surprise to anybody because I've talked about it 1,000 times in the show, is The Bear. Now, you said you started it and you didn't like it, or you started it and you just
we started
didn't
it and
finish
just haven't finished it.
Is there a reason?
No, no, there's no reason. I liked it very much, but Ben and I were watching it together, and then we just got away from it. Okay. And we have just like limited time when we can watch TV together. So you're saving Max isn't around.
For each other.
We're saving it for each other for a time when Max is not around, that we are watching TV together. And because I often fall asleep early, it's hard for him to watch TV with me, for Ben to watch TV with me. So
that's an acceptable answer. But I think you guys need to, at some point, just set each other free for The Bear. Meaning for the bear. Every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to finish it this morning on a Tuesday, and you're going to finish it later, and we'll discuss later. Because you're just keeping each other from one of the best shows ever.
Yeah.
You just really got to get in there and finish.
So we did that with Schitt's Creek, where Ben, like, he kept telling me I should watch it, and I was like, I'm not interested. And so he watched like up to season like 2 maybe or 3, and I was like, actually, then I started watching it and was like, actually, why don't you wait for me, because I really like it. And then I got so into it that I finished all of the seasons without telling him, and he was like, what are you doing? I waited for like 6 months for you to get into this. And I was like, I couldn't stop, I'm sorry.
Aww.
So he doesn't trust me now, but
yeah, you guys just need to go your separate ways when it comes to this one show. Everything else you can wait. What's your number one show?
My number one, and this is the show that brought me the most pleasure this year, that I loved the most, that I have been watching over and over and over, is the show Taskmaster, which I've talked about.
Oh yeah,
endlessly.
You have. I still have not watched a single episode of Taskmaster.
I think you will love it. It's just really fun. It is a British game show with all British comedians, where they have to do these silly tasks, and it doesn't sound as fun as it really is. It is so funny. The host is amazing, and it's just so. I mean, I laugh at it more than anything else. And you can find like every season on YouTube. So all free, all on YouTube. Yep.
Good to know.
Taskmaster. It's the British one. Don't go for any other. There's other versions of it, like New Zealand and whatever. They're not as good.
New
Get out of here. Yeah. I think there was even a US version of it for a season, and it was horrible.
I was going to say, I see one on Comedy Central here that it's with Reggie Watts.
No, it was bad.
That's the bad one? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reggie.
You're great, but that's just not the Taskmaster.
All right. Well, I feel like we just provided a lot of people with some good content, show watching wise, not our podcast, obviously.
Yeah. Also our podcast.
For television viewing, the world is your oyster. But now I have some good recs that I'm going to dive into.
Me too.
For sure.
All right. Well, you guys, you know how to get in touch with us. Find us on social media. We are at The Ridiculous Podcast on TikTok, at The Ridiculous Pod on Instagram. Rate and review. Tell a friend. We would love that.
We would. Thank you guys so much. We hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And we'll see you next week on The Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridic. You live.